This episode of Checking In With is sponsored by Pizza Packet. Enjoyed by millions nationwide, Pizza Packet provides portion-controlled, prepackaged spice and Parmesan packets. Made with only premium quality ingredients, Pizza Packet is the most convenient and most cost-effective way to provide added value to your customers. During these challenging times, every penny counts. Pizza Packet saves you time and money and is a much more hygienic and sanitary option over dirty shakers. Check out pizzapacket.com for all of your packaging needs.
All right, hey there. Welcome to Checking In With. I'm your host, Jeremy White, editor-in-chief of Pizza Today magazine. I'm joined by Mr. Josh Keown, who is a creative director of Pizza Today. What's up, Josh?
Hello, guys. How are you today?
Fantastic. And Josh, we've got a fun guest today, John Gutekanst. How's business been treating you the last few months since the COVID pandemic? We've talked to a lot of operators across the country. We really haven't talked to anyone in Ohio quite yet, lately, I should say. So how's it going in your area?
It's very weird. You know, you had restaurateurs that initially just gave up, threw in the towel, and then they had other people struggling, and then other people struggling smartly, you know, just going for it, just zooming in. And we decided to just go all in. In fact, at the beginning of the COVID, I had all my whole staff wearing masks, and the health department called the manager because she saw a Facebook post and told us to get rid of the masks.
Really?
And it's like, remember that time where they're like, no, you need to save your masks for, so now everyone wears masks. We've ramped up our online ordering and stuff like that, our specials. We've done some salads. We're rolling with it. You know, I mean, it's evolving. It's really evolving. And, you know, if you stay positive about stuff, like life evolves. This is just too fast for some people. And when you've got a business model that has people coming in to a small area, that's probably been the toughest for a lot of restaurateurs.
Yeah.
So we just have a small place and we don't have any eat-in. So we've been able to weather that storm.
Yeah, so you're kind of set up for it anyway.
Huh?
You were kind of set up for this, right? Like,
yeah. Oh, perfectly. Yeah. We did not. We actually we went and stopped doing delivery for about 2 to 3 weeks, because all of our what happened was we're a college town, so what they did, they shut the university down, and then all of our college students came back. They're like, hey, we're back from Florida, we went on that cruise, and we're like, no, you're 14 days starts now. And so we had to lay a lot of people off and just weather that storm, that initial storm. And I think people have gotten it. People really do get it. Although I'm seeing less and less masks now, and people, you know, doing a full grab on the front door and, you know, rubbing their face and just. But now we're dealing with the mozzarella prices and the pepperoni prices, and this is getting real. If they don't go down, it's gonna be tough on a lot of people who are already struggling.
Yeah, explain what's going on with cheese pricing and what you're seeing right now as a restaurateur.
Who knows? You get so many different excuses. And I think on top, you've got the excuses in a nice layer cake, and then on top of it, it's like, we could make more money. And I'm a paranoid person anyway, just from being in business 20 years. And it's just, our salesman has been treating us pretty well. But, you know, when you're putting half a pound of cheese on a pizza and it costs $1.50, and you get a heavy-handed individual who throws more cheese on it, you're just nickel and dime to death. And I've had great years before and ignored pricing, and you just see that bottom line just get sucked out of a pipe, out of your, you know, and it's not fun. But, you know, staying positive and just looking toward the future, there's nothing much you could do besides that, or just busting people for, you know, just keeping on them. What about those prices?
So what are you doing to battle that? Are you implementing some different portion control measures, or, you know, what's your way around that heavy-handed freehand?
Well, we're actually on an active search. In fact, there's a Amish place up in Ohio that is looking into some cheese prices for me. We use diced cheese because diced cheese is easier to measure by the cup. We're too busy, hate to say this, but we are too busy to literally actively measure. Plus we use pans, and we are just we jam. So when I've got the 3 triple decks going and we're in the middle of a rush and the parking lot's filled with people because they wait outside and we bring the pizzas to them. They step inside, they grab the pizzas. It's too much to have someone sitting there just weighing cheese.
Sure.
So we use cups, and cups only work really well if you've got diced cheese. So we're having to switch over to shredded cheese, which is shredded cheese is the problem with shredded cheese is the look people have. Just a normal person, you say, oh wow, I'm going to put the shredded cheese on a pizza, and it really doesn't look like enough. When actually it's more than you would put diced cheese on. So diced cheese you can shake too and just make sure everything's covered. And so you end up losing anyway on the back end of that. But we have New York style, Detroit style, Sicilian style now, which is we use shredded cheese with that too.
Yeah, you have a huge menu, and I'm always on your Instagram seeing everything you're creating in the back there. So have you streamlined your menu any from this, or you just kind of kept it the same the whole time, or?
No, we're trying to just stick with it. We're trying to stick with it now. I think there's so much in the restaurant business. I've been in the restaurant business my whole life. In the restaurant business, patience really is a virtue. Just hanging in there, even with people, well, yeah, the guy, he's kind of a jerk, and just kind of, just moving slowly really is I think there's more to it than is said,
Right, not basing anything off emotions and letting it play out just a bit.
Yeah, and screaming in the walk-in helps too.
Right.
But I remember Big Dave Ostrander once told me that, you know what, you should take these cups, just fill up a cup, just go in at night and fill up all your cheese in cups, and then just pile all the cups up in the walk-in. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But he was really a good person to talk to about food control and stuff and manipulation. You can have some. I don't want any of my customers to hear this. You can manipulate pizza in several different ways. Okay, like we have a Mott's provolone mix. I could go to straight Mott's mix, and because there's more mozzarella out there. But then the flavor profile of our pizzas will be decimated. But you can also, you've got your set menus, your specialty pizzas, then you've got your build your own pizzas. Now, build your own pizzas, you can go up in prices just a little bit. Say pepperoni, we have premium toppings, like we use local chicken and sausage and beef. So those are premium toppings, and well, they used to be premium toppings, but now everything else has come up that same price level. So we charge a little extra if you're building your own pizza. So it's not noticeable as much. And it's just like, dudes, I was eating, my wife bought some, what were they? Ding dongs. I used to love ding dongs, And so I got one. I'm like, this looks a little smaller than I remember. I bit into it and I'm like, there's no cream inside this. That's the whole thing. Now your customers know that too.
Twinkies are smaller now too, man. Twinkies are smaller now too.
Oh my gosh. McDonald's burgers. They're
Big Macs. Yeah, they should be Little Macs.
Good stuff. The one constant is Chef Boyardee ravioli with that gray. The gray still is, there's enough of that gray meat, I guess you call it. It's still good.
Very quality sauce, John. Do not knock the Chef Boyardee. That sauce is. If you
I'll end this Zoom call right now, mister.
Pizza. Yeah. You could have a Chef Boyardee pizza. If you could get that sauce out of a can onto
Oh, man, totally.
With your tater tots and your French fries.
Chef Boyardee, and it's like, John, buy me.
You're winning the pizza challenge next year. No bones about it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's ridiculous, Josh, because John got his start in the restaurant business in fine dining. He was in Chicago. He was in some really upscale fine dining restaurants.
Yep.
We get the guy on here, and he wants to talk about Twinkies, Ding Dongs, and Chef Boyardee.
Yep,
I mean, we're all basically 12.
Well, I'd always see that.
That's true. We're three of the most immature individuals you're ever going to meet in the pizza industry.
Right.
So John, you've been feeding a ton of folks since this pandemic started. Like, take us through what's going on there with your restaurant and all the people that you're feeding right now.
Yeah, well, this started actually March 10th, I believe. I just said, this really sucks. Oh, so yeah, what happened here was, so the university shut down and the whole town shut down, and everything was just, there was nothing. And then someone mentioned to me, what percentage of, 60% of the students have meals from school. And I'm like, well, they don't now, and so the school system was just ramping up, trying to figure out how to get these things. So we just started. I'm like, well, we're set up for it. Let's just make a shit ton of baguettes. Oh, can I swear?
Absolutely.
Sure. We're all adults here.
A bunch of baguettes, and let's make sandwiches. So we just started doing that. And then we started honing it. Gordon Food Service gave us a really just generous donations of food. So did RDP from Columbus, Mark Miser. And so they were really great helping us out. Then we put buy a lunch on our online ordering. So anyone who called, you could just go online and buy a lunch for $4 each. So people did that anonymously. And then we started getting other donations and stuff. So we're calculating how much we can do and what food pantries are needing stuff. And there's a lot around here. This is one of the poorest counties in Ohio. And it's sometimes when we first started doing it, these kids, because it's all about the kids, man. It just breaks your heart. It's generational poverty. It's people that will never know any sort of bump in their paycheck at all.
Right.
So we got a bunch of volunteers, and we pull stuff out in our parking lot. Some tents and long lines, and we just pack these lunches we call them mega lunches because there's about 2 to 3 meals in it. And we do 2 sandwiches. We do the deli sandwich with local beef. A local rancher kept giving me big, huge haunches of top round. So beef, bacon, ham. Ham farmer gave me a bunch of ham and stuff. And we just make PB&J and then a deli sandwich. And then the rest is just I was making macaroni salad and 3-bean salad, and my staff is like, God, only old people eat 3-bean salad. I'm like, man, I love 3-bean salad. But and so then we just load them up in the car. We use big Jenny's boxes. We can fit 24 mega lunches in each one. So we just take it to them and deliver it to them, and they distribute it. Got some really good, like today we went to the Nelsonville Food Cupboard, and they're awesome. They're just really cool.
That's fantastic, man.
We put them out front of our store also. Every time we do that, we put about 50 out in front of ours, and literally it's gone in 20, 25 minutes. And I can't even look at that because one of the first guys drove up in an Escalade and got out and got 2 lunches, and I was like, man. But when you think about it, if you can help your community and any kid to just go through the day without thinking about their stomach, that's all there is to that. So, and it's all about community. And if you're not, I'd tell you, any pizza person knows this, if you're not about the community, you're probably out of business, or you will be. So
right. And it sounds, from what you were just talking about, you're really deep in the community. Like I said, the farmers were giving you stuff, and so you're really tied in with them.
Yeah, it really creates a web of people and businesses that are helping you. And it's really nice. Plus it keeps your freaking mind off of all the BS that's going on today, So, and
you're in an interesting part of the country. You have a large Amish community nearby, and I know in the past you've gotten spelt. Is it spelt? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah,
the wheat. Yeah, and you get a lot of fresh produce from local farmers, so you have access to some really good quality ingredients that other pizzeria operators may not be able to get their hands on.
Yeah.
How does that spur your creativity throughout the year?
Yeah, it's like a giant, before Chopped, we used to call it in the hotel business, it was called the basket challenge, where they just put a ton of stuff in a basket and say, go for it. Have a bunch of chefs there. It's just like Chopped. And so that's what I'm getting now. I'm getting, you go through the strawberries, the asparagus season, the ramps. Now we've got garlic scapes and cabbage out the yin yang. And so it's basically, it's like dumps on you, these waves of vegetable waves. So you have to really think outside the box. And we're lucky enough to have one of the best farmers markets around. And so I'll bake from 9 o'clock at night with Joel and a few other people, and I'll get a plan together about manipulating some of these vegetables and how we do it. And some vegetables, like I'll get parsnips, rutabagas, and turnips. They always end up with bacon on them. So it's just
everything's better with if you just throw bacon on.
When I write the card, I write bacon first, and then if I have something like lardo, I'll write manteca. They're like, ooh, manteca. What is that? It's lard. But lard bread is amazing. Just chunks of little lard, because we get a lot of fat back from our farmers, and I'll cure it and then smoke it sometimes. Just really, really good.
So you're part of the farmers market on Saturdays. You're selling. Okay. Wow. So Friday nights, you're like creative jam session basically, and you're just putting everything together. So that's very cool. 400
loaves of bread and pizzas, etc. And we've got the usual suspects that we have to do, but then we'll try different things. And luckily, my customers are so used to it, and that's not because they're so eclectic. I've got a lot of country folk that come every single, and they love their kimchi bread, that Chinese cabbage you got. Like, it's Korean, but yeah, here it is.
So how does that work? I just need to know how this works. Friday night, I'm sure, is a busy night for you guys. So you got the regular, customers coming in, but you're also doing this on the side. How do you work? Is it after closing, or how's that work?
It's during the late night bar rush. So I have to fight the guys making the pizzas, but they help me out. And Joel is just, he gets in the back and he's my engine, and he makes the fougas and stuff like that. And I'll get down on the fougas, the rest of the other fougas, and we'll use our Impinger ovens, the Lincolns, a triple stack of Lincolns. And I've got 4 other Matador ovens, which can do different temperatures, and there's no bleed through on each deck, which is really cool. And so we'll do croissants. I'll make croissant dough. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I make doughs. I build up to it. I'm using a lot of semolina now, because semolina is a lot more predictable as far as its rise is concerned. And then I love cloaking stuff with like cabbage, and it's just really, really neat looking, and it's got a nice crunch to it.
Your bread's fantastic there.
Yeah, I see the photos of your breads, and they always just look fantastic. And I remember one time something you said to me at Pizza Expo when I was speaking to you about your breads. You said, look, if you're a pizzeria operator, if you're a pizza maker, you're also in the bakery industry, you're also a baker, there's no reason that you can't experiment and make your own breads. And that really resonated with me. I think a lot of men and women in the industry are a little intimidated to give that a try. But your baking background, to my knowledge, you didn't go to baking school, correct? You don't have formal training in baking, yet you're one heck of a baker.
No. Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's fun. After I talked to Peter Reinhardt not long ago, and he's now going into the pizza. He's doing his pizza quest and such like that, like you guys are doing. And it's people don't realize that they probably bake more per pound than any baker does, and that whole baker fallacy is, I'm a baker and you're a pizza guy. That's kind of out the window now. And so many bakers have crossed over to pizza, and so it should be the same thing. And plus, I gotta make money. I gotta feed my kids. So when I first started, I thought, wow, here we are, we're closing at 11 on a weekday, and we're going to be closed for 9 hours. What's up with that? They got a kitchen that I paid for. I'm paying rent. It doesn't stop. It keeps going, tick, 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 tick. And so, I could use these ovens and just whip some stuff through. And so we've learned how to cook in the conveyor ovens, which is really great.
Wow.
And they're fast as hell. And once you can get stuff on parchment paper, and it's just delicious, really is.
So John, what breads could the typical, average, everyday, normal pizza maker, what breads could they pretty easily start making in their pizzeria tomorrow if they wanted to?
That's the whole thing, is you just look at the make line. We do a ladder bread. It's got Italian sausage in it, and onions and green peppers. And I'll just make a mix of highly hydrated direct method pizza dough in the back, plop it on a table, partially cook all 3 ingredients so they're a little bit wilted, and just start impregnating that baby, into the into the dough. Okay, I call it impregnation. My wife hates that, but I couldn't find another term for it. So you do the dough, and then you age it, and for 2-3 days, bring it out and cut some fougasse. I mean, fougasse were originally made in wheat stalks or ladders or something like that, but they were originally made so a baker could test his dough. He'd whip it in a hot oven and it'd cook fast, and boom, it'd come up and taste it. And they were, way back when, they were for celebrations too. Because they realized they could make it into something that people go, wow. And when you're facing customer at the farmer's market, it's different. It's not like you're a chef where you never face your customers. You're there face to face, and you're getting either crap from them or you're getting a wow, that's really cool. And I think that's probably the best thing about the farmer's market. You get input like that, and it's an emotion. It's an emotional input too. Whereas a chef, hey chef, table 62 said that it was really good. Big deal, So those things, sausage bread, we do a curry bread. We'll take onions from the make line, add curry and oil to it, run it through the conveyor oven, add a little water to it, stick raisins in there right as soon as it comes out, and they rehydrate, they puff up. And it's some of the best bread you'll ever taste. And the same thing, you'll ruin your back table with the turmeric yellow, but you knead that in, age it, and it's delicious with maple syrup. It's like,
man.
For years, my customers were saying, our family makes French toast with this, and I just thought they were freaks. But then I tried it once. I put it in the toaster, and me and my kids were dipping in. I'm like, holy crap, this is great, And so that's good. We've got other things too. Olives are really great in bread. We use roasted garlic from our make line, and then rosemary, and those 3 breads are just good. We do a leekachoke, which is also really good. We take artichokes, which we have on our menu. I roast leeks off, and then I add Parmigiano to it. And then I put that into the dough. And it's an amazing combination. And those are really, they're money makers. So we sell them about $6 a loaf, which is a good price because they're almost 2 pounds each. And so
well, once this pandemic is past, as I want to get up there and I want to film a whole Friday night. I want to see the whole thing go down. Mainly, I just want to eat a lot. Yeah. But.
John, we need to let you get about your day, man. It's been a real pleasure as always. I cannot wait to see you in Atlantic City.
Right on. Yeah.
Keep us updated with how things are going in Athens, brother.
Yeah, I will. You guys take care. You guys are the best. I'm telling you, man.